JTVNetwork presents the Jazmin Anderson Show. Live audience experience this Thursday, July 11, 2019. There will be a special guest, Jazz Anderson. She has her new album, Separation Anxiety, which is out now. Come sit in the audience and hear her journey to victory, live and in person. Jazz is no stranger to wealth, struggle, fame, conflict, or adversity. Come check out her journey to victory this Thursday, July 11th at 7:30 p.m. Hey, you guys are right here to the Jazmin Anderson Show, and today is just an amazing show. I have a special guest. We're starting the first live show with Jazz Anderson, which is pretty amazing because, I mean, my name is Jazmin Anderson. Her name is Jazz Anderson. Who better else to start the first live show with, right? And I have an amazing live audience here. So it's just amazing to have them here in the audience, and it's going to be a great show. We're going to get to know about Jazz and her just journey to victory. And I'm just excited to hear her story because there's so much that she's been through to get to this point, from her family, from her being in the limelight, and just her experiences. I think we can always learn and grow from that. So Jazz, give a round of applause for Jazz. We have Jazz here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
No, literally, I'm excited to have you here because I was like, who better else to start a live show with than Jazz? You know what I'm saying? It's like it's two of us.
Right.
You know, so it's pretty neat. So I know you got your album out right now, and I've listened to all of the songs. I mean, there's actually 11 songs, and I don't think there's one that I'm not pressing repeat on.
Thank you.
So I'm loving every single song on there. And I know you titled your project Separation Anxiety. What is the story behind that?
So it's actually something that my mom had actually helped me come up with. Wow. And if you notice on the cover, there's the TV that's kind of staticky, blurred out. And the reason that we did that is because, you know, a lot of people say, you know, I've watched you grow up on TV, you know, because I've been on, Basketball Wives since I was 13 years old. Yeah. So that's about 10 years already. Wow. So because of that, you know, people have their preconceived notions of me, or, you know, what they think, who they think Jazz Anderson is, just by an hour episode of a show.
That's true.
So Separation Anxiety was kind of like, okay, why can't I be a reality star, as you may see me, while at the same time be a lyricist, or, you know, a poet, or, you know, take me serious in this field as well. So Separation Anxiety for me was kind of just like breaking away from what people see me as on TV. And, you know, separation anxiety is when you don't want to let the person go.
Exactly.
So for me, it was like they don't want to let me be who I am when it comes to the music game. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of why we blurred out the TV as well. It's kind of like this is a whole different Jazz.
See, that's good to actually know the cover, like the story behind it, because I really, now that you're saying this, it's making it look so much more clearer. I'm like, okay,
a lot of people are
the
like,
TV. Like, why was she sitting on the TV? You know?
And then I released the promo video, which kind of made more sense because it showed like all the clips of like when I was on TV, and then it gets staticky, and then you see me running away from that.
That's true.
So, yeah, so that's on my Instagram, but
See? so give me one thing you think that we should know that we don't know, that you don't mind sharing, because you were like, a lot of people, you don't know who Jazz Anderson is, and we really don't.
Right.
We only get to see, like you said, we've seen you since you were 13 till now, you know, and we've seen you on Basketball Wives and actually in the limelight of your mom. So it's kind of like, hey, now you're finding your own, like, who is Jazz Anderson, and what is it that you could share with us about you that we don't know?
Okay. Well, you know, before I was deciding to be a rapper, I was a Division I athlete, you know. Yeah, so I followed in the footsteps of my father, and I did play D1 basketball, and ball was life. So, you know.
That's right. So who's your dad, for people who don't know?
My dad's Kenny Anderson.
Okay,
yeah,
so we know where that Anderson came from.
Right.
We know that. Okay.
Yeah, so a lot of people don't know that about me. You know, when I'm passionate about something, I go 110. And I actually ended up getting injured towards the end of my freshman year, and they cut me from the team.
Oh my
so
gosh.
Yeah, exactly. So that was very traumatic for me. So it was kind of, I went through a depressive state where I was like, okay, what do I do now? Because I've been playing basketball my whole life. That's when I really started taking rap more serious.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
a lot of people don't know that. It was like I had always been writing and rapping, but it was always on the back burner.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good. So it made it become like the
Right,
front
the focal
of what you're
point.
doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. And then I saw like that you actually, I was reading on you, and I saw that you actually studied the dictionary and the thesaurus. So what like inspired that?
Well, that was
lyrics?
something that my mom had, she did when she was younger in the household she was raised in. So when I told her that I wanted to be a rapper, she was like, okay, well, if you want to be different, if you want to be taken as a lyricist, like you have to get up on your vocab. Because when I first started, I was rhyming like cat, bat, hat, mat.
Yeah, like
she,
me, like
she
me.
was like, what? She was like, what
Wow.
is this? You know, so she was like, you might want to expand your vocabulary. And even if it wasn't just the dictionary, it was just reading in general, because that, you know, feeds the brain at the end of the day.
No,
so.
that's amazing. So you really was studying the dictionary?
I got to like letter D. And
No, because I'm like, wow, I tried it one time. I'm like, hold on. You made it. Where did you actually, did you make it to Z?
I was like, I'm just going to read. I'm just going to start reading.
Well, that's good
More,
because
yeah.
even in your lyrics, I could tell like you put a lot of thought into them, especially with purpose and love you. That's one of my favorites right there. And just in the sense of you telling people, especially young girls, like right now, it's so important that you love yourself before you know how to love somebody else.
Yeah.
So for you to put that message out there, did it come like, was that something that was always in you that you feel your mom or someone told you, or did you learn it from a relationship or?
Well, you know, growing up, my mom always said, you know, put yourself first. But as women, we don't, I mean, I'm 23 right now, but, you know, I had to go through a couple relationships to see, okay, I need to love myself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it's like we're always trying to, well, I'm not going to say we, but me in particular.
No, we. You're right, we.
I was trying to, you know, always appease the next person, you know, instead of just being like, be confident in who you are, and then everything else will follow. So that's why I wanted to, you know, make Love You. And when I did the video, which is out now, you know, we just took a bunch of different people, you know, no matter what colors, size, age, you know what I'm saying? It was like different people to kind of symbolize just whoever you are, embrace that.
No, if you guys did not see that video, you have to go check out that video, Love You, because I love that message, and so many girls and so many women were growing up, and you know, you can know that, but to actually live that and be that, that's a complete different thing. Like, we can be like, yeah, you gotta love me first, and then you get in a relationship and it's like, it's all about him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you can definitely shift it so quick. So I love that you're putting messages actually in your music, and different ones, you know, that were so uplifting, so encouraging to women and just people in general, versus just like about money, about sex and just stuff like that. And especially being so young, you know, so where do you see like hip hop like in the future of it? Like, where do you kind of see it going?
I think that now it's, I definitely think it's becoming more female dominated, which I think is great. I always say when one female rapper knocks down the door, you basically opening the door for the rest of us. So I definitely think it's going to be more female dominated, but I think it's going to change from, as you said, the sex selling and the money scamming and all that. I think it's going to change from that to actually lyricism again. You know what I'm saying? Because I think, I think we're missing like the Lauryn Hills. Like, I grew up on Lauryn Hill.
Real?
Yeah.
Wait, how old are you?
I'm 23.
Okay, you made it. You made it.
So I think it's, you know, that music is fun, but at the end of the day, we go home. You know, we're not in the clubs 24/7. So I think it's going to change, and music's actually going to go back to having a message.
That's so true. And the fact that you want to be actually remembered as that and like working towards that is just beautiful, because I know I definitely love hearing music that makes me think.
Right.
Like, you know, you want to hear more than just like, oh, okay, I get this car, I got this outfit on, stuff like that. You want to hear, you know, people actually making you think. So for you to be on that level already at your age, I think that's so amazing.
Thank you.
Like, literally, you guys, you got to give her a round of applause for that. Like, that's just amazing in what you're doing.
Thank you,
literally.
guys.
And I know you went to Prairie View.
Yes.
So how was that actually, your mom like being in Houston and then, well, LA, you know, you guys are shooting and doing that. So how was that, like the spotlight growing up in college?
Well, I kind of always dealt with it, so it really wasn't anything new for me in a sense. But at that time, I was just strictly focused on basketball, you know, so it was kind of like, that was my, that was my life, yes. But Yeah, I always kind of dealt with that growing up. So my mom has always just told me, just stay focused, just stay humble,
That's
and
so good.
handle your business.
Okay, look at mom. Okay, shout out to moms. Okay, so and like just you working on this project at 23, like that's amazing to put out 11-track, album. What would you say has been like the most challenging? Because like you're still young, so like to want to go party, to want to go do things. Like, what do you feel like was the most challenging thing like during putting this project together?
I think the most challenging thing was probably myself, because we often, especially as artists, we, no matter what your craft is, it's kind of like we can sometimes get in our head and become our, biggest competitor. Yeah. So I was like in a battle with myself at times, like, are they gonna like this? Is this song good enough? Is this, always questioning. And then I started to doubt myself. So, it was kind of like, I just had to stay focused pretty much to get it done.
No, that's so true. And I think that's with anything. Like, we could be our own worst critic. Like, we have to literally, like, we're our worst enemy. We're our own competition. Yeah. It's all in the mind. So for you to say that, like, you're so right. And I'm just, like, excited for you and what you have going on. And in the show, it's Journey to Victory. Okay. So it's always, like, how did you get here? Where did you, from this level? Like, because there's always things in the way. There's always something. Right. You're continuously on a journey. Every day of your life, you're on a journey. Life is a journey. So it's like, what hurdles? Like, I know there's been like hurdles just like in your life as a woman. Mm-hmm. I think we all kind of have our own thing we go through or our own struggle that we go through. So what advice would you give to women from at a standpoint to where you were, where you had to like tell yourself something or that you would tell a young girl?
Okay, I think it's rather cliche, but I can attest to it just being yourself. True. I know like anybody can go through kind of like I said, self-doubt, self-hate, you know what I'm saying? So it's just, especially as you're growing up, I went through that, just growing up. Am I good enough? Am I pretty enough? True, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you just have to stay true to you, and that's something that my mom has always instilled. People always say, is your mom really how she is on TV? I'm like, yeah, that's really her.
Like all day,
yeah,
all day.
And,
wait, with the cap on and everything too?
The bonnet, yeah.
Stop.
Yeah.
With the bonnet? No.
The bonnet, so it's like, she always just instilled that in me, and for me, just looking up to her, she's been in the game for like 20 years, and it's still respected. So for me, it was kind of like, okay, well, you stay true to you, and you're still here. You're still respected. So I'm gonna, follow what you're saying, basically. Okay.
Well, since we're on this, and it's sounding so good right now, I gotta go into words of wisdom. Like, I usually wait till the end, but we gotta go in words of wisdom since we're talking about mom and how she is, and just like, it probably just puts you in a place where like, what actually like a quote? Like, I'm always curious to know like a quote or a saying or something that people live by, because I feel like we all have something someone's told us, and it's kind of just stuck with us, and we can use that as motivation in our life and things like that. So what would you say is a quote or a saying that you live by, or something that sticks with you?
I would say probably stay high when they go low. Me and my mom say that a lot. Michelle Obama said it.
No.
And my mom started saying it, and I started saying it.
You're like, now we say it.
Now we say it. But, I think in anything in life, it's just kind of like, that's why I got this, actually, rise above. It's just kind of like, just overcome any obstacle. Just stay high, when you're faced with adversity, hate, jealousy, whatever, negativity, you just have to rise above that. So just stay high when they go low.
I like that. Just right. No, seriously. And I wanted to know, like, in the studio, being a lyricist, I've always thought I could rap, every now and then. Like family reunion, something came up, I try to do a little something. So I just kind of want to picture, like, we're in the studio right now. The studio. Here go the mic. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's pretend like you're in the studio. What is actually your steps, like, in the studio? Is it when you hear the beat that the lyrics come in your mind? Is it when you hear, or when you actually, like when you get the feeling, because I know in the car sometimes I'm really trying to get a flow, and sometimes it's not coming. So I'm like, how do these people just be going like this? So
for me, it's definitely the beat. Like I have to hear the beat first because a beat
Jazz,
can
don't
take
give me a beat, Jazz. You already know. Look, Callie, we got to get Jazz a beat because I just want to hear just a little, like it could be like a, you know, it could be real short. It don't got to be a whole verse, maybe a sentence. You know, I think, you know, probably like a little one, a bar, right? They call it a bar, like a bar. We could do like a little bar just because I just want to like get an experience. Like, how is that in the studio? Like, what do you, because, you know, I might want to go in one day, you know, and I'm going to just say the bar that we come up with.
Me,
you know?
Yeah. Me personally, I like to hear the beat because the beat can take you, you know, anywhere. That gives me my topic. And then I just go on my phone and I just go on my notepad and kind of just jot down, like
so it's
what
the
I'm
beat,
thinking.
definitely.
Yeah, I have to start with the beat. Dang. I've heard some people.
Why it don't work for me? So you gonna have to show me just a little bit, because I'm like, you know, just a little bit. Just turn up just a little bit, Callie. Look, there's another Anderson in the building, you guys. We're all Andersons sitting here. Wow. The 3 Andersons today. So I got my DJ Callie over here, Callie Royce. The beautiful. She giving us a little beat because I want to know. We gotta flow. I'm gonna see what I come up with. We gonna act like we in the studio. We in the studio right now.
Come on, Anderson, we gonna buy.
Come on, let's get one bar.
See,
one
I
bar.
normally be pinning it. So.
If y'all hear something, you know, just shout it out. You know, what y'all feel?
That female flow, that walked in flow. That one. I love that whole.
That walked in flow.
Yeah.
Hold on. Do we need a pen and pad? Hold on.
Like,
what we need? Do we need a pen?
I don't know. It caught me off guard.
Like just like a little 1 second. Like. We can't really feel this beat. Callie gotta put it up just a little bit. I'm thinking about Lil Wayne verse. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, me too. All I'm hearing is the cop car.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. We. You know?
Seriously.
Like. Okay.
Oh yeah, when I did this one, See, when I did this one.
Please tell me what you were thinking, girl.
Yeah, what was you thinking on here?
I was spending a lot of time in Atlanta when I did this song. I actually did it with the producer Honorable Sino, who does a lot of Migos records. Okay. So when I went in with him, I was like, I don't know if he'll really like get my sound, you know, I don't know. So he was like, what do you want to do? Let's do it. So I was like, just give me like a vibe, like something that's riding. And then he just got on the beat pad and all that. And came up with the beat. Yeah, so at the time, I was actually talking to this guy who I wasn't supposed to be talking to. I mean, it's
are you still talking to him?
No. I kicked it to the curb.
He's a real guy?
Yes.
I like
to write off. Yeah. I like to write off experience.
Look at Callie.
He had money in the mattress.
We might have embellished on some parts. You can embellish a little bit, you know. But so it yeah. You know, he was a real street guy, you know. My mom just was like, why do you go for that? You know what I'm saying? So it was kind of like.
Wait, so while we here, who should be trying to have you go for? Like, what, he need to be a doctor? What is like the preference?
I mean, she doesn't say like who today. Yeah, but she's like, come on, like. Not him.
Oh, okay. It's one of those.
Yeah,
like well, who?
Yeah.
Well, who, Mom?
Yeah, exactly. Who? She's like, I don't know, but not him. It's one of those.
I know, my mom can do that too.
Yeah.
Well, who?
Exactly.
You gonna find him?
Right.
What you gonna do? Okay. So you was writing this. See, I love how we got off. You real slick. You got all the way off because I'm trying to really learn how to do a bar. Because I really be in the car. No, I really be in the car trying to figure out. I be just trying to come up with just a sentence. Like, you know, I just give words. Like, you can be rapping, words. And I'll be like, okay, yeah. Boo. You know, I could, you know, it's just a little.
Rick Ross, what was that flow you did in the studio? Like, how did you?
Oh, what was that?
Look, we're going to have to give you the mic, boo. We're going to have to give you the mic.
Oh, what was that?
Come on. Let Jazz know, because I really just want like a one-liner.
So like, Jazz, the actual flow you did, like, I'm gonna be honest with you. Every scene I saw you in that you was rapping, I was just like, you
fire.
Yeah.
And then the whole situation with
Yeah.
2 Houston women being on the show.
That was live.
And you were like so much more poetically amazing on the mic
Thank
than
you.
what I
You
was
was getting it.
saying, you know. I was just like, dang, girl, you got that. So, you know, I want to know, like, what were you thinking, like, in that moment, like, being in the booth, like, you're by Rick Ross. Like,
Right.
not many people get a chance to meet.
Saying.
Exactly.
I would have been saying that, like,
That's what I'm trying to figure out too.
You know, when
Let's
I went in the booth, it was kind of just like I had to do what I had to do. You know what I'm saying? I was away from home. They took my phones. You know, they didn't let us have our phones,
Oh, yeah,
communicate
for
with
sure.
nobody. Yeah, so I'm like,
Straight focus.
I got to get it done. You know, so for me, it was just kind of like, I want my respects. You know, to now even how everything played out, it was a lot of behind the scenes issues.
I didn't
but,
really get seen
right,
on
right,
scene.
exactly.
it was the T-girl.
Look at look, next show.
You know, reality TV it can be messy sometimes, you know, because at the end of the day, they're all about the ratings. But basically, I went in the booth and I was just like, you know, I got to give my respect. So now when I see them outside of that, they like, yo, Jazz, what's up? Like, you good? Like,
They
what are you working on
feel
now?
you.
You know what I'm saying? So I would say that's the
Earn
most
that.
important thing. Yeah,
Yes.
just getting your respects.
So you was in the booth. I'm still waiting. You know.
Can we hear a verse from the song I just played? Can you just run that through, but no beat? Just we want to hear the song. Doughboy.
You a mess, Callie. Look, we got
If
Callie
you
in
are.
here. I just want to hear some type of flow because I'm just trying to get it. Like, I really, you know, I've dated, like, my boyfriend actually be in the car, and he can rap on anything. So I be in there thinking I got a little flow, too. And it just don't come out as good as it's supposed to, how it be in my head. So I was like, you know what, this is a perfect time for me to try to see how to get the flow going. So the next time I get on Instagram Live or Facebook Live, I got some
You could
flow.
do it, yeah. I
you
feel
know?
like you always, for me, it's how I come into it. Like, I always feel like that first line is like, even if it's not a hard line, like a bar, it's just something like, how on that, dope boy, you know, it kind of set the tone.
Callie, if you don't put on a beat, so I can get a flow going too.
Yeah.
I'm trying to flow too. I'm trying to flow. I don't hear no music.
No, you know what? Let's bring y'all to A-Shop.
Oh, okay.
I just want a little flow. Just one flow.
You got to start with the line. Like, how do you want to come in?
Okay, let's see. We're going to get this, Jazz.
Yeah.
We got Jazz and Jazmin Anderson in here. We're going to come up with a line. I'm going to see what the line.
Hey,
Alright, got the rollie, yay. Pulling out real strong, hey. See, it don't work for me.
Nah, you was right there. You was kind of getting it.
Okay.
gold belt.
Goldie. How I melt. No, that's how I felt. See, it don't really go for me, Jazz.
Well, I actually did a remix of
There
this.
you go. Let's see.
Yeah, I did. So for me, because the song is dog ass, so when I came in on it, I was like, okay, I'm going to play off what he said. So I was like, with your dog ass, I can dog too. When I told you I was asleep, my side boo was coming through. And if you're trying to...
I like that one.
Yeah, you know?
Okay.
You got to like play off of it. So I was like...
I got one now.
You
I got a little line. I'm gonna use that.
Okay.
I know if it's gonna work, but you know I'm gonna use my side boo.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Okay, so look, I gotta go to the audience because I have the audience here, and I just want to hear you guys. You might know some things or want to ask Jazz some things that I may not have asked. So I'm gonna take this time to hear from you guys what you want to know, or the floor is open. So 2 questions. Okay. So say your name.
Hi, my name is Nicole, and I would like to know. They always ask rappers this, and so I want to know, like, who is your most 5 favorite rappers? Girls.
Oh.
Oh, I like that.
Yes,
That reminds me of that movie.
Yeah,
That's a good one. That's a good
Okay.
one.
So it's no order. no order. Missy Elliott, Lauryn Hill, Nicki Minaj.
Oh, same favorites.
Oh, it's tough.
That's good.
I really like Remy Ma.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a Rem fan.
One more.
MC is nice.
A rapper, a young rapper.
A young
more
rapper.
Of
Now.
this,
Okay.
this
let me
era.
see.
Like she like her.
I wasn't gonna say me.
You know, you already in there, boo. You already in there.
Well, I'm big on the battle rap scene. I really like battle rap. So I'm going to throw a battle rapper in there. Her name is Official. I think she's really dope when it comes to lyricism and bars. Yeah. So I'll just throw her in there.
Okay, so those are top 5. Okay. So anybody next got a question? Don't be shy. Okay.
Okay, my name is Paula, and my question is, just sitting here listening to you, you just sound so down to earth and so well grounded. So what keeps you so well grounded? Like
I always say my mom because she don't play that.
Wow. She like, look, boo.
Yeah, she don't play that. But no, I grew up in a Christian household, so it was instilled in both my sister and I from my grandma and my mom. Like, you need to have humility. You need to, live by the word of God. So it's kind of just in me, I guess.
and it shines, it shows.
Thank you.
Come on, Jazz. That's how we do, Jazz. I like that. Yeah, we got to hear one from Chloe. She's the youngest one in the crowd today. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, my name is Chloe. I don't really know what to ask. Well, first, my mom always watched your show, so I kind of watched you grow up as well, and I grew up with you.
Yeah.
So, I really
Seriously.
looked up to you,
That's
honestly,
dope.
to be honest. I did. I was
you.
like, oh my God.
Jazz.
I guess that's all I have to say, because I don't really have a question.
Well, that's really
Yeah.
good. Hey, that's really good.
Thank you.
Okay, we got to hit this up with my DJ. My beautiful DJ.
Hey
like that
y'all,
mic.
it's me,
Thank
DJ Kelly
you.
Royce on the
Look
mic.
really.
This is my question. Jazz, as a female artist, and I always bring it back to this because y'all is like, y'all my rocks. I love y'all. Y'all keep me going as a DJ because I see so much growth in the industry with females. Right now we're getting a lot of raunchiness, you know what I'm saying, with the booties out and all that, you know. So how do you feel the state of female hip hop is right now in your site, and what would you say you bring to the table that is a game changer?
Okay.
Come on.
Yeah, that was a good question. I feel like the state of female hip hop right now is in a good place because even though I may not listen to all of it, and even though I feel like it is about the raunchiness, they're letting us in. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, great. But I feel like, and I just was having this conversation earlier, I feel like that's going to die out, because at the end of the day, it's about substance because we're not always in the clubs. People want to go home and really hear something that they can relate to when they're having a bad day or when they need, positivity. So I always say that it's going to eventually die out.
Down.
Yeah,
Yes.
die down.
Yes.
So I think for me, it's just, I like to focus on the bars and the lyricism, and I always say I'm not the type of rapper, I'm not going to go so far left where you feel like I'm preaching to you, because that's not me, but I feel like there needs to be a middle ground. And I'm not going to be on stage half naked. I can captivate a crowd fully clothed.
Come on.
I love
That's
that.
how we do it.
Can I ask just one more? Just one more.
Come on, Callie.
Okay, this is my last question, y'all, I promise. So, as a female in the music industry, and attire plays a role in how people greet you and how they accept you and talk to you, how do you handle men in the industry who may have a slight disrespect, or maybe even the same sex disrespecting you? Because not just men are disrespectful. I'm sure women have grace behind you or been like, "Hi, girl, look at that thing, girl." You know what I'm saying? But it's a little, it just feels a little more, stronger from a male male perspective, how do you handle some of that stuff, being in the limelight and, you know, being around your mom or not around your mom and you're young? You know what I'm saying? How do you handle that?
You know, it's definitely difficult at times because I have been put in situations where it's like the real me is like, you serious? Yeah, like,
just do that.
yeah, exactly. But you know, then it's kind of like, I understand that people look at me as, oh, that's Jazz. You know what I'm saying? So I think just as I grow in my career, it's kind of just understanding, because I also had this conversation with my mom, and she was like, you can't let anybody like walk over you though and disrespect you just because they feel like they can. So it's just about being able to put someone in their in their place respectfully, you know, and that's just on the regular side of things. But I have had producers come at me. I've had other artists come at me, you know what I'm saying? Not I'm talking about like guys just trying to hit on me very like aggressively.
I know, girl.
You know what I'm saying? And I just, I
That
don't.
foot down.
Yeah.
When it, to the best of us.
Yeah. Look at you know, but I'm all about the music, you know, so it's like, because I never want to come into the game and someone like, oh, she got into the game because she messed with him, or, you know, so I keep it strictly business, you know.
Give it up for that. Clap it up for that.
Yeah.
Come on. Like, that's how you know, like, to stay focused.
Yeah.
Like, focus.
Seriously.
No, that's so good. And I do love just how humble you are and
Thank you.
just how, like, you just seem so calm, so at a place in your life where you're just really living fully. And I love that. And that's how you know you're on the other side, like, you know, because I was hearing, like, even you comment yesterday, I was in your story, right? Mm-hmm. And you had said something, I guess you had did an event, or you was at something where was it? I think it was a concert or something was going on. And you was just like, what did you say? You said, man, I won't try to hang myself or something like that ever, or something like that. It was something along those words, and it was, I can't think of what it was.
I don't know what it was.
I know, and it just made me think, like, I hope she never thought about doing that or anything. Like, it was like kind of a play thing, I guess, because your mom had like posted like you had posted it,
I know what it was.
and it was just like, man, I'll never think about doing that again. Like, you had wrote something like that. And I'm just like, I hope she wasn't thinking that in the first place.
Yeah, I was like,
and I don't know, it just made me think, like, I know you didn't go through any, like, suicidal thing. I know we all probably, you know, have a moment,
depression,
where we're just like, you know what, but then it's like reality.
Yeah,
like, come on, we gotta get back
exactly.
on everything. So I just, like, want to come in because you are living fully and you are living your life. And just, like, if you could live fully even more, what would you say is like the next thing we can look forward to you doing?
I'm doing a lot of, I'm expanding more into the TV world, which I'm excited about. Whether it's scripted or more reality, I am choosing to delve into it even more, yeah. So I'm super excited about that. And then I'm just, you know, keep working on the music because I just want to find that hit single.
And I think you got them. I think you just need to do these videos.
Yeah, no, I need the video.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you are doing, especially on Timmy Ever After.
Yes.
You know, the new show on VH1. You guys got to check it out if you haven't checked it out. So what is it? Because I'm like looking forward to is there anything you know that we can look forward to you doing in this show?
Well, on the show, you know, it was like I told you know, Mona, I really didn't want to show my music side. I said, oh wow, everybody, you know, on Basketball Wives, they see me do music. You know, that has been storyline numerous of times. I said, I want them to get to know me and just see me how I am with my family. You know what I'm saying? So on that show, I'll probably just be more focused solely on family time.
Oh, that's good. Mm-hmm. So we're just going to see Jazz just in
it's just me. So people can say, I feel like I know her. Because a lot of people always say, you just rap. I just know you for rapping. I don't know you, though, you know, because I don't do many interviews. Like, I'm just to myself, you know. Yeah. So when I do have the opportunity to show who I am, you know, I try to.
Well, I'm so glad that you actually are doing that because you're here today. Yeah. And we actually, I feel like I've known you forever. You know, even our phone calls, I'm like, no, you're my sister Jazz. We got like the same name.
Right.
Like you're literally my sister. So just to hear you and me to hear like the response from the audience and just how they're able to connect with you, I think that's so beautiful and so humbling. You know, like when you can continue to grow in life and also like reach back and also talk to people and also be relatable, you know, and being transparent. Yeah. So I I think you're doing that well, and you're doing it in your music.
Yes.
And we're going to do one more question. KB.
We
Let's
are.
see what you need
Okay.
to
I'm trying to get the mic back over there. But okay.
Look, one more question before we go.
Okay. So, Jazz, congratulations on your success. My question would be, because it sounds like you've given yourself enough permission to be human and changing after your purpose. So what are some key things you would say would be more consistent for your next set of goals you want to reach? At least top 3. Get top 3.
Something that I need to be more consistent in.
You changed your purpose a couple of times. You found your purpose
Right.
now. So since you've given yourself that permission to do that, how are you going to remain consistent? Top 3 things to do that.
I think for me it's always been not doubting myself. So definitely just self-love. I'll put that as the top one, just loving myself, because when you don't, you can go all off track and then you change who you are.
Sure.
Yeah. So definitely need that to stay consistent. Second, I need God. That's just how I was raised. I just feel like when I'm in church, it's like a new, like, woof. So God, and then third, family. I feel like just my family in general just keeps me grounded and on the right path.
Why do we really seem so alike? This is crazy. Like, it's just so different, like, to actually, like, hear some stuff that you're saying, and me being just a little older. Like, I'm not that much. I'm 29. Me being 23, just, like, it's amazing, because I'm like, no, you're, like, 29. Like, we're the same age. Like, and that's not the case. So it's just amazing to hear you, and I really appreciate you coming through and just sharing your journey, you know, and letting other people know that it's okay. Like, you can shine, and, you know, you might find your purpose, like you said, by something happening in your life, you know, like you might be like, no, this is it, and then something can happen, and you're like, God will have you know, boo, this is really the lane you're supposed to be in. So we have to really just look at that, like look at life in a sense of it's teaching us something every day, and it's like, are we paying attention to what it's teaching us? And I'm glad that you were paying attention. You were and now you're like really blossoming, and you're grooming and glowing in what you are here, what you're here to do. You know, you're in your purpose, and it's in music, and you're able to reach to an audience and reach to people and get your voice out, you know? So I just want to thank you for coming and letting JTV have you, you know?
Thank you for having me.
No, for real, and it's just been amazing, and thank you, Jazz. Like, I just can't continue. It just means so much, like, that you're here on the first live show and starting it out. It means a lot, and I continue. Look, we'll have her back. Look, she probably gonna look so different, you know? I mean, look, who knows what's gonna happen?
Right,
you know, like, just things will just continue to grow for you, and you'll be a little older. So I really look forward to seeing that.
Thank you.
So we're gonna play some music. I'm gonna show some clips, and you guys have been locked right here on the Jazmin Anderson Show. Oh, thanks, Jazz.
Thank you.
Jazz, I'm
It
so
was
happy
fun.
I had you.
Great job.
That was
You're
fun.
amazing.
Thank
I'm
you.
getting pictures, videos.
Okay.